Would you want to be the strongest? In almost every anime, there's always a character who stands above the rest, the strongest. This could be a wise sensei guiding their students to reach their new level. A relentless protagonist strives to surpass all limits. Strength isn't just about power or who can hit the hardest. It's about purpose, responsibility, and the burden that comes with it. But what does it truly mean to be the strongest? And is it something worth striving for? In this video, I'll cover what makes a character the strongest, along with a character analysis of their character and why being the strongest might not be the best for some characters to strive for. The strongest characters are in shonen most typically, where characters fight magical beasts or other people to prove their power remains supreme. When people think of the strongest anime character, the first person anybody can think of is Goku. And for good reason, his power is so immense that he could destroy an entire universe and beyond. However, other characters such as Saitama can punch as hard or even harder. With these two characters, this is easily the most talked about debate of who would win in a fight, Goku or Saitama. But what about supernatural abilities? Gojo is the strongest in Jujutsu Kaisen. His power doesn't reside in his physical power, while yes he is strong, but it mostly strives in his ability power. Another form of power is conceptual power. The canonical strongest character in Dragon Ball Z is Zeno, the creator of everything. His power is so grand that he can erase an entire universe with a single thought. All of these characters are united by being the strongest in their own respective universe, but they're all separated by the type of power that they possess. But being the strongest doesn't always have to be about power. Think of different things that can make someone the strongest. Me personally, I think of intelligence. Death Note is a show where there's no physical fighting, but psychological battles happen constantly, and where the show's main points take place. Light Yagami strives to create his ideal world, free of crime and where justice is absolute, and plans to make this perfect world by any means necessary, by operating underneath his cover name, Kira. The brilliant L is tasked to take down Kira and stop his killings, all while keeping his identity safe. The show is so clever that no physical confrontation occurs, except for that one tennis scene, but it can still make the viewers sweat and be on the edge of their seat with each character battling against each other. Light and L can't fire energy blast or shatter mountains with a punch, but their strength lies in manipulation and strategy. Spoiler alert for those who haven't seen Death Note just yet. Light kills L, proving that he was the strongest of all time, leading him to go years creating his own justice and perfect world. Light's unparalleled intelligence allowed him to outmaneuver L and establish his version of justice.
What do you think of that, L? This is my perfect victory! That's right! I win!
But in doing so, he became no different from the criminals he sought to eliminate. If strength is about control, was he truly the strongest or the most dangerous? Characters shown to be the strongest surprisingly have the most problems. Saitama is uncontested in his universe as the strongest mortal, but with this power he has no more competition. His original intent for becoming a hero is for the thrilling battle, but as he has become the strongest, he has no one to bring him joy or give him an actual fight.
Not again. All it took was one punch. Damn it!
Looking at someone like Gojo, he has no one to relate to him as being the strongest. Before he became a sensei, he was a student, and all he had was only one person who could relate to him as being the strongest, Geto. But after the death of Geto, he lost the only person he could relate to in being the strongest. Not only that, he lost his only true friend. People see Gojo as a last resort, a fail-safe weapon capable of turning the tide of any battle. Gojo doesn't desire to be treated like this. It's understandable. He is a person with love and dreams. Everyone around him, including his students, really only see him as a weapon, with the only exception being Megami, Yuta, and Yuji. Goku deviates from the previous characters I mentioned since Goku actively trains and wants to be the strongest in the multiverse. But with this cost, he brings enemy to him rather than looking for new enemies. People like Dr. Gero created the androids and Cell to look for Goku. Raditz was sent to Earth to find Kakarot and bring him to Frieza's army. That's why after the Cell arc, he chooses to stay dead, acknowledging that his strength attracts danger to his loved ones.
Speaking to you from Otherworld, so I'll make it quick. You know, Bulma said something to me years ago that stuck with me. She told me I was like a magnet for all the bad guys that were always popping up. And if you think about it, that's not really too far from the truth. I get the feeling that Earth's gonna be way more peaceful if I just stay where I am now. And King Kai agrees with me.
I originally wanted to make a video talking about Sung Jin-woo in some sort of way. Ever since the new Beru fight just dropped and marking himself as the strongest S-rank in solo leveling, I had to talk about him. But what makes Sung Jin-woo different from the strongest is that he is still treated like a human and a normal person to some extent. Gojo is treated like a weapon, while Sung is in the same stand of power, he is more treated like a normal person. What I find most fascinating is how these characters aren't treated in their own world, but how the audience reacts to them. Jujutsu Kaisen fans sympathize with Gojo's isolation and wants him to be happy. Meanwhile, solo leveling fans criticize Sung Jin-woo for showing any emotions, almost rejecting the idea that he can be more than just an unstoppable force. When Sung Jin-woo shows any emotion by, oh, I don't know, bringing his mom out of her coma, That episode gets 3,000 dislikes and he gets ridiculed online for it. I find it so fascinating that the Gojo fandom and the Jujutsu Kaisen audience wants Gojo to be happy, while Solo Leveling fans only want him to be an aura farmer who shows basically no emotions. There are plenty of examples of characters who are the strongest and are living their best lives. Characters like All Might are idolized, showered with admiration, and treated with the utmost respect. But looking a little bit deeper, the most powerful characters are often the most broken. Beneath their power lies isolation, exploitation, or even boredom, struggles that come with standing at the top. While you might not be able to find these flaws at surface level, take a closer deep look and you'll find that these people actually struggle a lot. So after everything we've explored, I'll leave you with this one question. If you could choose any role in an anime world, would you want to be the strongest? Hey, Editor Philip here. I just want to say so sorry for the lack of uploads recently. Being a full-time student is a lot of work, and unfortunately I have to prioritize school over making videos. I did make a short a while back saying that if I got to 500 subscribers, I'll watch ReZero, and that still holds true. And when I reach 1,000, I'll read the entirety of the light novels. So if you guys want to see me make a video about that, please hit that subscribe button. And thank you so much for watching.